Hi, thank you for joining. My name is Krista Oliveria, and I'm the founder and CEO of Career Conversationalist. And I'm glad you're here for an update, both personal and business. I just kind of wanted to let you know that things are going to be put on pause, so you may see me disappear for a little while. And I certainly appreciate you if you've been watching me online for a while and you've been with me. This isn't a drastic pause, it's primarily because of the feedback that I've gotten from people like you. And I had a situation came up that just really kind of made me break down. Um, but out of all of it, I definitely want to say I want to go back and work on my branding so that it is crystal clear. I want that clarity in my message and who I serve. But pretty much, I received a phone call from an organization saying, yes, we want to work with you, but we're not really sure what you do. I checked out your website, and it looks like you work with kids as young as junior high, but I'm not quite sure if you also work with kids in high school and college. And so what services do you exactly provide? And so I was very fortunate for the conversation and the opportunity to have that. But it made me go back and look at my website and go back and look at my branding and look at what messages I was having and the different types of conversations I've been having with parents. And so it surprises me because my marketing message is all over the place as far as who I serve and just really questioning how can I serve you better. And um, there's been a lot that's been coming up for me. It's pretty emotional. Um, but one of my mentors told me to pick one thing and to stay with it, and then I can build out from there. So I'm pretty much going to start focusing on scholarships, and the reason being is yes, there's a lot of concern about how do you afford it, how do you pay for it. There's a lot of questions about it. I need to talk about careers because the most frequently asked scholarship question is tell us about your career and educational goals. And so it's kind of already built into that conversation. And so I really need to figure out my messaging as far as the value that I provide because there's a lot of value that I provide that isn't being communicated clearly. And that's coming to my attention um, by going to a networking meeting, talking about some of the results that I'm having with the kids every week and talking about our conversations and what happens. And people are like, wow, like, that's valuable. Like you had a conversation with a kid and it was equivalent to 3 rough drafts. To leapfrog and not have all that work and to have, you know, a lot more progress. It's not even just about the scholarship or winning, it's about that opportunity to tell that story. Is these kids, they struggle to answer a question about and educational goals are. And I find it interesting because in almost every personal development, everything else I've been through, it's always been like you should write your goals down. Like if your goals aren't written down, then it's just a wish. Kids, it's like, okay, well, yeah, I'll pay 40 grand as a parent or more for your college education, and I don't know what your goals are, and it's actually a wish if you don't have it written down. So just the whole process of even going through a scholarship application and having to look at that essay and be like, wow, what am I going to put? And talking to kids, I had a conversation with a kid who was like, oh yeah, like, I want to work for the FBI and be a criminal minds investigator. We were talking about, I'm like, well, why? And she's like, because I find it interesting and fascinating. I'm like, you would enroll in college for a degree because it's interesting and fascinating. But if you want to rise up to the top and go, that's what you want to shoot for, like, I support you. But just know you have to dig deeper and have an answer besides it's interesting and fascinating. And a lot of these kids are just not having that conversation. They're not being pushed. And so that's the value that I'm providing is I'm providing a space for a community to have these conversations, for kids to open up and to talk and to see and blossom and what's going on and what's happening. I've been focused on is the community and the conversations. I've been focused a lot on giving information. I've been focused a lot on writing blog posts. I've been focused a lot on doing videos. So you can tell I'm getting kind of emotional because I've obviously spent a lot of time doing that. But I realized the importance of building a community so that I can get the feedback to make sure that what I am creating is being beneficial for you. Because a lot of the things that I'm trying to prevent happens through these conversations and building a community. So, for example, kids won't slip through the cracks and get off track and not transition well from high school to college if I start helping them in high school. So, and since there's a lot of scholarships available for freshmen in high school, it makes sense for me to start on that path and to focus on that. And then some kids do and don't know what they want to be. So it's like, great, here's an opportunity to expand that. How do you talk about that? What's the next thing? And it just makes sense to have it be like, let's focus on scholarships now, and then maybe a year or two down the road, offer another course when they're ready and they want to focus on internships, or they want to focus on how do I get a job. A lot of the skill sets are still the same, but you know, you change. You're not the same person you were when you originally went through the course. And so even though there's similarities between a scholarship interview, an internship interview, and a job interview, trying to put that all together at once, it's overwhelming for people because they're like, wait, this doesn't apply to me, or does it? Or like they just kind of like, and it's like, okay. So really understanding that I kind of need to break that up and think about the products and services that I offer and the value that I provide and the transformation. Just being able to explain that more crystal clearly. So that's pretty much why you're going to see me disappear on social media. I do have some things that I don't know, lack of a better word, I'm going to purge it out. I do have some things that I'm going to post, but I really just kind of want to like take a step back and look at like, what is my strategy? What is my branding? Who am I serving? What am I doing? And just really get into the habit of talking to people and finding out more about how to build a community, because I see the value of it. The feedback has been tremendous for me, that I get from both the kids and the parents. And the kids have given me a lot of feedback as far as what they want, and that's easy for me to go out and implement it. And then talking to the parents about that value, I think there's a lot of disconnect, and there's a lot more that I could be offering that parents want that I'm not expressing. So it's my hope that you continue to stick around and watch. I'll post things occasionally, but at this moment in time, I'm not going to be going forward with a regular weekly show, because it doesn't make any sense for me to pick topics when I'm not really sure what your greatest concern is. So I'm really looking to build that community, get that feedback, and figure out a more cohesive way to create and deliver a message on an ongoing basis. So um, that's pretty much the business update. Personally, I was just like disappearing or giving up or what's going on. I will be making changes slowly. I know I've had people say, like, I haven't talked to you in a while. Like, what have you been up to? Like, you're usually into art and this and that and the other. And it doesn't sound like you've done any of that. Like, where have you been? What have you been doing? Like, you've been working on this business and you haven't been traveling as much. And it's just because the business hasn't been working for me because my messaging hasn't been crystal clear. So that's why I'm taking the time to push pause and get that figured out. But I want to thank you so much for following me and um, staying engaged and having an ongoing conversation. I know there's some people that have been with me from the very, very, very beginning, like literally for years now. So thank you so much, and I will look forward to our paths crossing again soon.